Hello, Internet, and welcome to episode 202 of Verbal Graffiti with your host, Brian Glass, a.k.a. the B-Man, the People's Degenerate, Connecticut, CT, the Nutmeg State, the state which I was born and raised and have lived in, resided for most of my life, other than a few years, where I took a trip and lived in Astoria in Woodside, Queens. But for most of my life, and right now, I've been a resident, a protector, an advocate of the state of Connecticut. So it pains me when I say this, but I'm an observer. And this is what I've observed. And there's something you should know. If you don't know, the B-Man, I'll enlighten you. You can tell the state of your state by the attractiveness, by the bodaciousness of the newscasters of the local news stations in whatever state you're in. And in Connecticut, I don't know what's it. It's Fox 61. It's Channel 8. I don't know all the news. I don't watch local news. I don't got time for that. I'm doing verbal graffiti. I'm doing stand-up. I have a day job. Yeah, I am failing miserably at getting my dick wet from strange women. So I don't watch, I'm not turning on the 5:30 news. But I was doing stand-up. And sometimes I do, you know this, I do stand-up at shitty bars, pubs, all over the state of Connecticut, New England. And I did my set, went upstairs, a bar, the local news. I'm chatting with a couple of the comics. I believe Travis was one of them. And I rudely interrupted the conversation because on the TV, behind the bar, or maybe it was like to the side of the bar, a flat screen in a sports bar, it had the local news. And not just the news, the weather. And we all know that the weather, the local news and national news, the weather should be done by a babe that she's so hot that the only question you have is she wearing a thong or is she going commando? Because there is a certain hotness to a babe where those are the only two options you have. You wear skimpy undies or no undies at all. And we want to know, and we know that you're wearing skimpy undies or no undies as a weather lady, because a weather lady on your local news should be wearing an outfit that's tight enough where you would have panty lines if you were wearing thick undies or a bikini and more fabric undies. But you know what I'm talking about. You all know the weather lady. When somebody tells you that they're a weather lady or that they know a weather lady and that you don't know who the lady is, you assume that she's a hottie, that she's a babe, that she's a baddie, that she gets flown out to Las Vegas. She gets flown out to Epstein Island. She gets flown, maybe not there, but she's hot. She's a babe, certified babe. We know that. But when I was at this bar like last week or maybe it was 2 weeks ago, our local news weather person, and I'm saying person because it wasn't a lady, state of Connecticut, it was a man, and not a handsome man, not a Chad, he looked worse than me, right? If you look at me, the B-Man, if you're watching this on YouTube and not via podcast, and if you're watching and or listening via podcast, thank you very much. And please subscribe. We're still stuck at 60 subscribers here on YouTube. So go to YouTube and subscribe, please. We're begging you. I will give you a tip of my penis if you do so, if that's what you're into. But anyways, if you look at me, if I told you I'm the B-Man, I'm the local weather reporter for Fox 61, NBC Channel 4 News, you wouldn't believe me because I don't have the looks. I don't have the pizzazz to be a local a local weather reporter, for a local news station. And this guy, he was bald, terrible fashion. You looked at him and it's the type of guy you look at and you'd be surprised if his breath didn't stink. That's kind of that's was the guy representing Connecticut. And this is January. So that the weather gets going in January. There are winter storms, there are nor'easters, there's slush, there's frost. We need a hottie, a hot babe giving us that dreary weather, because that's the only thing to percolate us, because the sun does not come out in January in Connecticut. And I hate the sun in January. All right, are we going to talk about weather? All I'm getting at, I rudely interrupted the conversation that I was a part of. They go, whoa. I just like, whoa, look at that. And they all, what is it? Like, that guy's ugly. Why is he telling us the weather? And they're like, yeah, dude, well, that is kind of odd. And I've never aggravated when I see a fatty, like a fatty babe being the weather lady. But this guy, it's beyond the pale. It is whoever the executive who decides to be who's behind the camera and who's in front of the camera. That person should lose their job. They should lose their citizenship. They should have to take the bus. Take their car. They should have to take public transit around Connecticut. But this guy, honestly, all I can describe the guy is just a pale white guy that was balding. But he still had the hair on the side a little bit. Like, he didn't completely shave it like me. It was thinning, but mostly bald, but a little bit of thinning. And honestly, he blinded me. He was so And honestly, if I just saw him at the bar or just a random guy on the street or at a comedy show, I wouldn't be calling him out. That's just a guy. He's living his life. No one needs to be called out for being an ugly. But when you're going to be a weather person on TV, and you ain't a solid 9 or 10, yeah, the B-Man's going to call you out on you not being a 9 or 10, because those are the only ones who should be a news weather person is a 9 or 10. Like, it should be a hot babe, but if it is a guy that used to be so hot or attractive or handsome as a guy that I assume you're gay. If you're a weather person and you're such a handsome guy, well-dressed, perfectly fit clothing, and everyone says, gaydar, you're probably gay. And you're not saying you have to be gay, but we should think you're gay. Like, that's how hot you should be. Like, that's still one of the jobs where looks, attractiveness, like, there should be a pedestal. There should be a level of attractiveness that you should have to be a weather person. In Connecticut, our weather person, our representative, is a skinny, white, bald guy, right? And that's me. That's me. Like, I should not be representing the state of Connecticut for our weather. Give me a hot babe from Central State University, or I don't know, Southern, UConn, Quinnipiac. I haven't. Connecticut has not been this defeated since the Whalers left Connecticut. And by the way, I'm glad the Whalers left Connecticut. Hartford Civic Center sucks. It's way too steep. It's cold in there. There's no the concourse. All right, none of you. Not if I really talk about the Whalers, a team that left Connecticut, a hockey team over 25 years ago. When the Whalers were here, the B-Man didn't go to their games. And most of the people in this state who still whine that the Whalers left Connecticut, you didn't go to the Whalers games either. If they came back, you wouldn't attend. All right, enough about Connecticut. But I am making a plea to NBC 4, Fox 61, ABC 8, whatever. All the stations with a number at the end of it. It's 2026. Stop putting the uglies as your newscasters, especially the weather lady. Go find a babe who looks good in a skirt, who looks better than good. Like a babe that gives us, the audience, instant heart, instant erection. All right, moving forward. All right, this next one comes from the subreddit Dead Bedrooms. The vibrator works better than you. Sorry. Are you sorry? So our therapy session went good. After therapy, we tried to make intimate progress like a therapist suggested. She, a 28-year-old female, actually initiated by guiding my, a 29-year-old male, hand to her without having expectations that night. So I got the green light. Good for you. The therapist told me to make it as little less fearful for her, just focus on her pleasure. Okay, that's fair, is it? I'm willing to try. I decided to try oral. I've only tried oral 3 or 4 times in our marriage. I'm not very good at it because I have little experience. It took me a lot of courage because it's been so long since the last time I tried it on her. After about 10 minutes, she said she reached her threshold. I respected her wish. I thought we were going to make progress. I had a real smile on my face. Bet you did. It was short, yes, but it was more than the last few months. Almost immediately, she told me, the vibrator works better than you. Sorry. It's not your fault. You just don't have the practice. I was crushed, all hope gone. I was humiliated and replaced by a plastic toy. I know I've said in my history that I'm going to get a divorce, but I tried a therapy session and kept my promise on that part. But now she hurt me to the point I don't want this to work anymore. Edit. I need to emphasize that she was on her phone the entire time. Well, that's quite the edit that you gave us there at the end. And thank you for giving us that edit, because with that little bit of information, that might be the entire bit of information, that your wife was doom scrolling on her phone while you tried to perform oral for her pleasure. I'm here to tell you, the B-man, that your wife is a certified cunt. They're the type of cunt that's notarized, right? You went to town hall, and town hall notarized a letter saying that your wife is a cunt. And I'm here to tell you right now, I'm making this declaration. If you want to divorce this cunt of a wife that you have, the B-man, I'll attend law school and get a law degree just so that I could be your divorce attorney when you divorce your wife, because you need a good attorney, somebody who cares about you more so than your wife did or does, and I'm that guy. I will care for you. You probably don't want me to be your lawyer. I did take one law class in college. I got a C in it, one of my lowest grades ever in college. So I'm probably not the lawyer you want. But if you're hard up for one, unlike your penis, the B-man, I'll do the 3 years of law school full-time to be your lawyer. I actually know a hot babe who's she's finishing law school this semester. If you're watching this, hook me up. I'll try to hook you up with her to be your lawyer. But I'm so perplexed by your wife. What? All right. So your wife. First of all, let's start with this. There's a lot of bullet points I have for this one. If you and your partner are attending couple or marriage therapy, don't. If you're attending couples therapy, your relationship is over. Dunzo. Take the money that you were going to spend on your therapy and buy a ticket to some resort in Mexico and get one of those bottles of tequila with the worm on the bottom and drink yourself into a coma, because you'll have more success doing that than you will reviving whatever embers that are in the fire of your relationship. It ain't coming back. The fire that your relationship once had, if it had it at all, is gone. All right, the extinguisher, it went all over the flames. It's done. There's nothing a therapist can do to revive your relationship. So don't waste your time. Do not attend couples therapy with your partner. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of money. It's a humiliation ritual. You should not participate in that. All right, that's my advice for a guy. And just to preface this, I haven't been in a real relationship in 20 years. You can argue, in the court of law, that I've never been in a real relationship. So for me to be giving you any type of dating, divorce, marriage counseling, and or advice, again, look at my backdrop. If you're taking it that seriously, that's on you, not on me. But I am serious when I say do not go to couples therapy. I mean, if I was giving my wife, like you mean the hypothetical, the B-man, I'm married to a hot babe, and it's a dead bedroom. We're not fucking. We're not touching each other. We're going to therapy. And then I decide I'm going to give you oral sex to try to, to just give you the tingles because I love you and I want you to feel good. I'm trying to give you the gasm. And if you don't even have the common courtesy to put your phone down and stop doom scrolling, stop looking at your ex-boyfriend who was able to knock your socks off while my face is between your legs, I'd go, hey, honey, hey, buttercup, I'm trying to make this marriage work. Or I'm trying to perform oral sex for you, for your pleasure, so that your toes will curl up, that you will have a gasm. And you don't even have enough respect for me to put down your phone, to stop doom scrolling, liking photos on Instagram of Love Island and the Real Housewives and all your friends who are going on vacations. You can't even put your phone down for 10 minutes while I'm tonguing while I'm sucking on your clit. Sometimes a bitch deserves to be backhanded. And I'm not advising backhanding your wife, but I would think about doing it if I was giving my babe oral sex for the 4th time since our marriage, and she wouldn't even put her phone down while I was doing it. Like, I wouldn't backslap her, but I would think about it. I would dream about doing it. Like, we don't advise hitting anybody, any woman or guy here at Verbal Graffiti. But we sure as hell think about doing it, right? We sure as hell think about it. But I'd be critical. Like, I'd have a word or two. Once I wipe the pussy juice off by the way, hey, I know I ain't good at this. I know I don't do it often, but can you at least give me your undivided attention while I'm sucking your clit for a few minutes? Just can you just give me your undivided attention and maybe move my head and give me some directions to be a better person? Because let's be honest, wife, all right? Yeah, I'm not good at it. I haven't had a lot of practice at cunnilingus. But again, I'm married to you. All right? So where else am I going to get the practice? Where am I going to get the 10,000 hours of practice to become an expert at cunnilingus if you're not going to give me your attention and your clit? Like, where am I supposed to go? Am I supposed to be like that twerp on a Willy Wonka's chocolate factory? The girl who licked the wall, like, the snozzberries taste like snozzberries. Look, I'm not going to go lick a wallpaper for 10,000 hours. Like, I got to lick your clit. I got to suck on your clit. And if you're not going to allow me to lick your clit, that's not advantageous for either of us, for this marriage, this relationship. And again, like, just put the phone down. 10 minutes. You got a guy sucking your clit. Like, can you be a bit thankful? Can you be a bit appreciative? Give him some undivided attention. But again, there is a question to be said. How shall I phrase it? How many times Do you have to suck your lover's clit before you can say, yeah, I did it? Like, you're being greedy for wanting more. I think 10 to a dozen times, 10 to 12 times is sufficient to make a babe copacetic. Like, once I suck your clit 12 times, what else is there for me to do? You felt everything I have down there. I've felt everything you're about down there. You've felt all the moves I have. Like, I don't have anything more than 12 moves. Honestly, I don't really have any moves. I just move my tongue around a lot. But after a dozen times, like, if you still want me to get between your legs, you're being greedy. I did that 12 times. And you want more? That's crazy. Stop being so greedy, yeah? So I say 12 times. 12 times is a number where if you've sucked your wife's clit 12 times, you've done enough for your wife. As for the vibrator, being more of a man than you, a husband than you, we all know this. We all know the vibrator. Other than pulling your wife's hair, the vibrator can do everything else you can do and do it better and more sufficiently than you could ever dream of doing. But I do believe there is a time and a place for the vibrator. Now, clearly, you and your wife, you're not in you're in a dead bedroom. So, it's not a great spot relationship-wise, physically. So, if I were you, I would tell the wife, hey, listen, I know you're not sexually attracted to me, but can you at least wait till I go out to do stand-up before you start violating yourself with that little plastic toy? Like, for that babe, that cunt of a wife of yours, to be immediately after 10 minutes of you failing your job as a husband, failing to give your wife a gasm, you still got the pussy juices, all around your lips and your chin, and she goes right away to get the vibrator and goes, yeah, you didn't do the job. I'm going to finish myself off. Right there, I would fight hedonism with hedonism. Like, if you're going to put the vibrator on right after I fail to give you gasm, sucking on your clit, all right, I'm going to open up my phone and I'm going to start watching smut. And I'm not just going to do it on my phone. I'm going to put the smut on the TV, on the wall, in our bedroom. I'm putting it full blast so that our neighbors can hear it, across the hall. Okay, if you're gonna be vibing next to me after I failed as a man, as a husband, as a lover, well, that's disrespectful. To be putting a vibrator on your clit right after my tongue failed to give you the gasm. So if you're disrespecting me, I'm going to disrespect you back. And I'm putting smut on the TV full blast. And what I also might do, right, if I was the husband, the failing husband, and my wife was just killing the nerve endings with the Hitachi wand on her clit after 10 minutes of me lukewarm oral sex, I would goon like right on her. As soon as she's fiddling herself, well, I'm getting right like on top of her, on my knees on the bed, and I'm wanking. And I'd hawk a dick loogie on her body. Is that assault? Is that assault? Good thing I'm not married and that hasn't happened. But this wife of yours, divorce city. And like I said, I'm not kidding. If you need a lawyer on the cheap, I'll go to law school and be your divorce attorney because your wife is a cunt. Let's go look at some photos. Selene Sun, the lady from Brooklyn that lives in Brooklyn who squirts on penises in front of the camera a few times on X videos, who I DM'd unsolicited, but without any nude photos of myself via Instagram. She's yet to respond to me. And now it's been 2 weeks, I think, since I sent that nice message asking if she's ever been on a podcast or an interview so I could get to better know her personality. She's yet to respond. So I'm starting to think that she's not going to respond. That 2026 actually is not going to be my year, especially not the year that I get a Selene Sun to squirt. I Mr. Perfect. I honestly, I'm not expecting a response from her, but I want to let you know where I stand with that. So we probably won't speak anymore of Selene. That's a lie. I'm going to speak about Selene Sun at some point going forward in this project Verbal Graffiti. I did have a conversation last night. It's funny. The conversation itself was not funny, but I was at like the table, like the comics table, and I was talking with two other comedians, one who goes by the name of Bradley International, shorter, decent, look, he's a black guy. Hey, B-Man, why are you calling out his race? That he's black. I don't know, because he's a black guy and I'm a white guy. So that's the difference between us. That's why I say he's black. But I believe he is black, and I believe Bradley International is not his real name. He has a big chain with an airplane on it that he wears all the time. So I think that's kind of his stage name, Bradley International. And the other comic we were talking to, it goes by the name Human. I believe she is a female, although I don't even know if she refuses to disclose that she is a female. I haven't really asked her if she's a female, but I believe she's a female. But she goes by the name Human. And I guess she thinks she's genderless. I really haven't asked her about her gender. I am a believer that there are two genders, male, female, and that Human is a female. But hey, whatever she wants to be, she is. She goes by the name Human, so that's what I call her. So there I am having a conversation with somebody named Bradley International, Human, and the B-Man. That's what I call myself, the B-Man. What an odd threesome. And we did talk about threesomes. Bradley International has done Eiffel Towers. I have not. He says they're kind of fun if you're drinking. That makes sense. Take the edge off. Two guys and one babe. Nothing I've partaken in. Not that I wouldn't. I think I would if I knew the gentleman, if I was friendly. But it was a fun kind. What the conversation itself was rather tame. And as tame as a conversation about threesomes and Eiffel Towers can be, during the conversation, I kind of had that aha moment. Wait, this is a bit weird. Bradley International, Human, and the B-Man. That's not a normal, three-person conversation. We're three oddballs doing stand-up. And again, we are yet to have any of the three of us are yet to have our Neil Armstrong moment. So we're just no-name comics and nothing. No one's going to care about the conversation. Now, if we were famous, if we were well-known comics, if we were successful, that'd be like, wow, you were at the back table with Bradley International and Human and B-Man. But no, nobody gives a fuck because nobody knows who we are. You ever find yourself in a conversation where you pull back, like you're still in the conversation, but your spirit kind of does a bird's eye view, like, wait, capture this. Like this is a weird moment in your life, or this is peculiar. And it was. It really wasn't any of the individuals in the conversation. What made it unique, me saying this again for about, I don't know, the fifth time, was the names of the three of us. So there you are. That was last night. All right, moving forward. All right, this next subreddit we're visiting is a subreddit for small business. Small biz or small peen? All right. Smile, you're on camera signs help or hinder? ? After a great deal of petty theft in my antique mall booth, I'm considering adding these signs to my display. People are on camera, and since given access to the security camera system, I've caught 2 shoplifters. I just don't want to offend potential customers with the passive-aggressive message. Other available signs are too intense. All capital warning. Property under 24-hour video surveillance. What do you think? What do you do? Also, the smile signs are small and classy looking as it gets for security signage. My rebuttal to you as a small business owner, and I do respect you owning a business, although I would not do a business at a mall, but I do respect you having a business because I have no business sense to my mind. How you start a business, how you grow a business, how you fund a business, and how you make a business that makes money. I don't know how. I don't understand how that's done. That's not how my mind works. But those who are able to do it, I respect it. And even those of you who even try to do it and your business goes out of business and you're in crippling debt, I respect you that you tried. But again, what does my respect give you? Nothing. So why the fuck am I giving you respect? All right, back to your post. Why are you being so passive aggressive? I don't like that. It's 2026. We're done with being passive aggressive. Now, that is my personality to a core, is passive aggressive. I will continue to be passive aggressive, which is the worst personality trait to have. But that's who I am. But it doesn't mean I have to like who I am. I don't like that I'm passive aggressive. That's why I don't like that you're trying to be passive aggressive with your customers that are potentially going to be shoplifters of your business, of your antiques. When you're putting up a sign that says, hey, I'm watching you with the smiley face, why don't you just give all the shoplifters, why don't you bake the shoplifters some sugar cookies? They say, hey, thank you for only stealing a few of my antiques. Can you please not do it again? Again, this is 2026. We don't live in a trustful society. So you cannot be passive aggressive to ward off any potential shoplifters of your antiques. So I don't like your mindset. In 2026, you can't even go to CVS without having your toothbrush and your deodorant behind a protective glass where you have to get the employee to come unlock it for you. If CVS is locking everything up and you have expensive antiques, you got to come with more than just a sign with a smiley face attached to it. I would advise getting a firearm to protect your antique business. Have a firearm, carry it in a holster that's visible. I don't know if that's on your chest or on your belt, like on your hip. Again, I'm not a firearm guy. I am pro Second Amendment, but I don't own any firearms myself. I don't believe I've ever even held a gun. But get a gun, a Glock, pistol, whatever you call it, Colt 45, put it on your hip in a holster for all your customers at the antique store to see. And what I would also do is hire a security guard. Some big muscular guy that is a bouncer at a nightclub at night. Go to your local nightclub, whatever downtown area near you. Find the biggest security guard, knock him on the shoulder, go, hey, big man, I got a day job for you. Pay you well. Come down to my antique store, hang out at the mall. Try to pick up all the Hispanic women, because those are the only ones who go to malls now, are Hispanic people. So come be security, armed security at my antique store, and then give that new security guard of yours a semi-automatic rifle, or whatever whatever the rifle that goes boom 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 boom. That you can light up 10 people in a split second. Give them that gun and have it visible. And then what I would do is around the perimeter of your kiosk or the booth in the middle of the mall, barbed wire. Kind of have it look like a prison. Have barbed wire, have photos of the shoplifters that were caught on camera. You print the images out, put it all over the little booth that you have. Let people know, hey, you steal an antique, you steal a lamp, you steal a little a teacup, a kettle from an antique from my store. I'm blasting your face all over this mall. And what you do is you have small TVs and you show on a loop footage of prisoners from World War II headed towards the concentration camps. Put those videos, the real footage, on a loop to let everybody know you mean business. And if anyone gets caught, you're getting a bullet in the kneecap. You gotta come correct. You gotta. This is. You want to lead with fear, not by love. You want everybody nervous to even breathe on the rare china, on this copper, on the dollar coins, whatever antiques you have. If you have, it'd be like a museum. You accidentally touch something, you gotta pay for it. Just have everyone so afraid of accidentally bumping into an antique that they keep their hands in their pockets and keep a foot away from all the antiques that are on the wall. But you gotta lead by fear. You can't. These criminals, these thugs, these kleptomaniacs that are coming in and swiping all your antiques, they're threatening your business, your livelihood, your money. And you can't come at them passive-aggressively with some stupid rink-a-dink sign. No, you come at them with a gun, right? You lead with fear by force. Right? You hold the gun and you get the biggest security guard in your downtown area to come guard your store, your antiques during the day. And that's how you're going to prosper as a business. Because as a customer, if I see the barbed wire, I see the Glock attached to your hip, I see video footage of prisoners going to concentration camps, and there's some big muscular security guard that looks like a superhero with a semi-automatic, I'm going to walk in your store and you know what? Right, she's protecting her goods. But more than anything, she's protecting her customers. She's protecting her space. She has pride. Right? She's not going to get over on. Like she got, but she ain't going to get got again. And as a customer, now, I might not buy an antique, but I know what that lady means business. And that's what you got to do. This is business. Go suck a fat one.